while in the making, getting to this stage. So we're here today to announce that Fighting Chance Promotions and myself in particular are taking out a promotional licence. So there's going to be obviously a new promoter in the North East and a new team. It's been around for a long time, so it's not really a new team. I think what we want to start by doing is just thanking all the people who've helped us to get here. We've got loads of sponsors and probably far too many people to mention, and I will inevitably forget one or two, but you know, Gravitas and VGS Global are a major supporter of ours. Portland Consultant Engineers. We'd like to thank Chris Clayton for all of his work as a nutritionist. Obviously, Gary and Ronnie are a major part of the setup and the team here. We work closely with Fight Star Pro, who help us with our gear and have sponsored one of our headline fighters, John Lewis Dickinson. And we work with a number of other businesses, Images by Stephen White, who's our chief photographer, and our media officer, Nathan Orr. So it's a massive team. You know, people do a lot of work behind the scenes and make this organisation tick and do some great things. What we're here to launch today as well as taking out the promotional licence, we've managed to secure an exclusive deal with Made Television. And Made Television covers Tyne and Wear, it covers Cardiff, it covers Leeds, and it covers Bristol. And our intention is that we're going to produce shows that are going to be televised shows, and we've got 4 dates throughout this year. So our first show is going to be in March. We have another show agreed for May, we have another show agreed for September, and a final show in December. So those dates are set, and we'll be announcing those in the press release that comes out following this press conference. So really excited. I think that together, working with Made Television, Fighting Chance Promotions can go from strength to strength. It provides an absolutely fantastic platform for our fighters and for anybody associated with North East Boxing who wants to gain additional profile and come on board and work with us. So really excited. For those of you that know a little bit of our history, we worked with Dennis Hobson to produce Resurrection back in 2014, and I think, you know, that was seen as a real success, where we sort of piloted a programme with Made Television, and from there we've continued an excellent working relationship, and you know, we're really grateful to Dave McCormick and Tony Hazel and the guys at Made for helping us to agree this. Our first show is going to be called Genesis, and it's on the 26th of March. There's going to be a really exciting lineup, and I'm going to hand over to my business partner, Ron Rowe, to just go through a bit of the lineup and some of the information on that show.
Hello everybody. It's good to see such a good turn up for a night which we hope it's a new beginning, a new opening. As most of you know, I've just retired from the fire service, so I'm taking on the coaching full time as such. With me partner in crime, Gary here. Gary's working, but he's in every night and puts a hell of a lot of work in. We just want to announce really that the first show that we're putting out, we're going to headline it with John Lewis Dickinson, and it's going to be for an international title. We're not quite certain of the title yet. We're not quite certain of their opponent. Most of you know John. He's Lonsdale belt holder outright. A couple of little bits of ups and downs in his boxing, as happens with most people in boxing now, funnily enough. But his last win against Steve Simmons was a fantastic win. We're working very closely with Matchroom on it. There's that much commitment and that other things going on. I've spoke to Matchroom, and they're helping us looking at the opponent and look what type we'll go for. So, you know, we're still very much involved with Matchroom on it, and we're certainly, as a promotional organisation, we know where we stand and we know what we are. It's an absolutely fantastic opportunity for us to get John on the belt, and we're really looking forward to it. We've got Craig Dixon as well, Robert Dixon, aka Craig Dixon. He's competing on the 5th of March, competing in the Lagoon Leisure Centre in Paisley in a British title eliminator, which again, Mike Towell. Yeah. Mike Towell is the opponent. Tough come forward type of fighter. You know, Gary does a major amount of work with Craig, and we're looking at the tactics and that for that one. But that's a fantastic opportunity for Craig, and you know, for the business and for the people involved as well. So we've got that going off on the bill on the 26th. we'll have Mark White competing on that bill. Mark's 2-0 at the present time, former England international as an amateur. A real good prospect for the future. And TK, most of you have seen him in his last fight against the Man Mountain. He's got his second professional contest, and so we're looking forward to him. We've also just signed up Jamie Boom Boom Jones, well known in the, he had 50 odd 60 amateur contests, but he's well known in the MMA circuit, and he's moving in with us at the present time. Who else?
Yeah, we've
I'll let Lewis now take over.
Yeah, we're working with other managers and other promoters, and we've got Danny Wall confirmed on the show, and we also have Bazzi Razak and Harry Biembe. There may well be other fighters from Mark Lausel's gym as well, but we're just sort of discussing that at the minute. And we're in discussions with other managers just to firm up the show, but obviously the mountain of work has been around what we do with John Lewis Dickinson, and making sure that we put a show out that's fit for television, really. So we are now open for business as such, and working with everybody and anybody, I suppose. So it's an exciting lineup. We want to build our shows around our fighters and the people that we invest our time in. But we've also got some other potential prospects from other stables there boxing on the show. So I think 26th of March, Genesis, it's going to be a great night. We're looking at that show being in Gateshead. Again, there'll be confirmation on the venue in the next week or so, just tying things up, because the work that we did with John has changed our thought process in terms of size and scope of the venue. So we're just working that up, and we'll announce that shortly, but that's probably just a foregone conclusion. And as of tonight, our website will go live as well, our Fighting Chance Promotions website. So our web designer has been working frantically today to make sure it's ready. He assures me it's almost ready, so you guys can have a look at it, and things will add to that as we go on. But it's fightingchancepromotions.co.uk or .com. So you'll be able to have a look at that and get some information on there as well. So exciting times ahead for us. A great team of people. Really pleased to be here and be part of it. And I think it was fitting that we did it at our home in the gym here. And we look forward to 2016 being a massive year, and continuing the success that we've had in our first probably 2 years in operation, really. And I don't know whether you've got anything else to add, Ronnie?
Just basically that there's other promoters in the area who we have got a great relationship with, and we're not in the game of trying to take over or anything of that nature. I believe that the Northeast is an untapped area. It's got some fantastic talent out there, and there's enough there for everybody. And we need to be working with each other rather than against each other. And forget about this one-upmanship, forget about anything like that. Obviously, let the fighters do the talking and let them do the work, and we'll get on with it, and then we can work together, because I think we should all, eventually we could all come together and hold a big show when we're going to have, four British titles on the bill, or Northeast World title. That's what we're aiming for. I don't see the talent is here in the Northeast, and let's just showcase our talent. I'd just like to finally say a big thank you to Gary for the work he does, Chris and Martin Nugent at the back there. Martin's been a fantastic strength and conditioning coach who's done a great deal of work with John over the years, and great help. I'd just like to thank everybody involved, and we'll look forward to the future.
If anyone has any questions that they want to pose or ask, then
yeah, obviously the Resurrection show, that was your first one, obviously working with Dennis. It got 5 stars in Boxing News. It was a hell of a show.
I'll pay you later.
Yeah, no, exactly. Again, you've set the bar high.
Yeah.
Are you aiming to have shows like that? Because one of the things that stood out with that show is the fighters who were on that card had tough fights. It was a very competitive card. Is that obviously when you're having your own fighters on there as well, and you're going to get other fighters coming in to support the show? Are there going to be similar cards to the Resurrection, or is it going to be a bit more varied?
I think it depends. I mean, you've got to have cycles, haven't you? So you can't always have 3, 4, 5 titles, and everybody boxing for English titles and British titles. We love that, but we've got to grow. We've got some fantastic prospects. We've got some people who are working through their career, and I think yeah, the aim and the aspiration is to run shows of that quality, but people like Mark, people like Jamie, people like TK who are early in their careers aren't going to be overly matched, I don't believe.
No, rightfully not.
And I think, you know, what we aspire to do is always put our lads in at the highest level and give them the opportunities, and you know, if they win, fantastic, as John proved against Stephen Simmons. You know, that's I suppose what we aim to achieve. But you know, I think it's about getting the matches right, getting it at the right time, and as you say, building it. And I think Ronnie summed it up previously. I think if we can grow a good stable of fighters over in Newcastle and Gateshead, if Phil can do his thing over in Sunderland, then there's no reason why matches can't be made down the line that, as Ronnie says, creates a super show in the North East. So that's very much the aspiration. I don't know what your thoughts are.
My thoughts are the same, really. I mean, you know, if you're going to me, being involved in the game, you know, most of my life, not professionally, but you know, if you want to be the best, you've got to fight the best. But that may be eventually, and certainly in the professional game, I'm not, you know, there for putting people out to dry. But what we will see, we won competitive matches. Yeah. You know, it's you know, we've all seen it where people have been, you know, sheltered, and then when they come up in the big time, it's not going to happen. So, you know, we believe that the talent is here, the you know, the coaching and then the conditioning and the nutrition is all here to give them the best shot at it, so that if they're doing their job, they'll be top, you know, top fighters and be able to go up against that type of opponent.
Do you know, just on that, if you take Mark's last opponent in Morpeth, you know, that was a very, you know, game awkward and different opponent, and you know, Mark's probably learned a lot. I think Gary and Mark will say more on that than I can, but for me as an onlooker and a spectator, that's the exact type of thing that I think fighters and people who pay the money to come and watch shows want to see, really.
Mark's last fight was absolutely perfect for that stage of his career. Absolutely perfect.
Yep.
I want to also ask about Mark's sort of perspective on this deal with Made Television. How much and how exciting is that to sort of have an increased chance of exposure with Made Television?
It's great, especially for like all of the lads in the team, put your name out there more, get you more recognised, build your bigger fans. Great.
Now I think with the last time the Resurrection show, it wasn't being done live, was it a delayed sort of put out? Is it going to be the same sort of thing with the shows, or is it going to be live?
Yeah, initially we have the option to do the show live, but we've agreed to do the first one as a non-live show. There's learning on both sides there, in terms of getting the production right, and that's stuff that we're working on at the minute. But we are also talking to other online broadcasters about who may want to broadcast, which grows the scope of the provision. And also brings more revenue to the table, really. So as it stands, you know, we've got an exclusive relationship with Made. That's going to continue throughout this year. We will probably look at some live shows towards the back end of the year, but certainly the first show is likely to be shown probably on the Monday or Tuesday following the show.
Alright, so it's still quite a quick turnaround.
Yeah, we're going to be discussing and just finalising that, and information will come out, the TV advert will be made, and all of those things will take place in the next few weeks. But, as it stands, yeah, it's going to be very much the same as Resurrection. So it will be a 60-minute programme, which will feature the main bout, and then there'll be a further follow-up 60-minute programme, which will be the undercard as well. So there'll be 2 hours of boxing footage. Plus there'll be a lot of pre-fight build-up. So Andy will be living in Fighting Chance. We're going to sign Andy up later on as well. But he'll be following the progress of fighters as well. So there's a big part. It's not just turn up and do the show. We want to actually grow the profile of boxing and get that footage, and you know, people coming in the gym when Ronnie and Gary let them in the gym, and just get that, you know, bit of behind the scenes stuff that we've done in the past as well.
How about the open workout?
Yeah, one of the things that we'll want to look at and discuss, I know some of you have come here and want to see some of the fighters. We've got some of the lads boxing later on. We can, through Ronnie and Gary and the team, agree, you know, for those of you that want to speak to John Lewis, those of you that want to speak to Craig, we can arrange for that to happen next week on a day that suits in terms of training schedules and your schedules. So what we'll probably do is put that out in the press release that Nathan sends out. So there's an invite there for those of you that want to follow up, because I think, you know, Craig's story is a big story outright in terms of what he's going to go and do and try and achieve, and obviously John Lewis has an interest there, so we want to make sure that both fighters gain the exposure that we both deserve.
So this promotional license that you have now, and obviously with the deal with Made, it's like the final piece of the jigsaw because you had everything else in place really as an operation. Is that how you see it?
Well, I think, you know, what we've got to look at is getting, this is professional boxing, and it's brilliant to have, you know, we've been very fortunate having people fight on the big shows, and, you know, with prize fighting, with the British title and that type of thing. And, you know, we've been very fortunate that we've had that level of fighter from an early day. You know, historically, if you remember, I sort of took the management over after Kelly Maloney, after there was a big thing with Kelly. And so Frank had been sort of managing at the time, and then he packed up and I took the management over. So realising really that, you know, obviously the big names are great, but we've got to build other fighters up there. Yeah. You know, and my sort of thought process and is, you know, to build the lads up, they need to be competing on the right tournaments and against the right people. So if we didn't have, you know, as far as we're concerned, is getting this promotional license is the key to the, you know, the final key there. We've still got to work hard, if not harder, in the gym to produce the fighters to take them to that level. And we have no problem, you know, once they, you know, on our show now. And then they move to a big show for one of the things, because this is about bringing the northeast and lads from the northeast and taking them up to the top. And to be, it's a stepping stone. Yeah. We need to do that. Yeah.
Can I ask, were you tempted to get Craig's fight onto your March the 26th show, or does it make more sense to do it in Scotland?
It basically, unfortunately, we lost the first bit.
Right.
You know, that's the way that it is in that situation. Yeah. And when it comes to purse bids, I kind of divulge the actual cost, but the one good point of it, you know, it's a financial business that we're in that way, and the lads sacrifice one heck of a lot to try and, you know, to get there. But I can promise you that that purse was twice the normal price that somebody would pay for a title eliminator. We took out all the stops to actually get it, but we still got outbid. So at the end of the day, whatever we say, Craig's getting the best paid day that he's ever had, and that's my job as a manager, to maximise, you know, because it's a tough sport, and it's a dangerous sport, and you need to maximise what you get out of it for the time that you're in it.
He's also got a lot of experience of fighting on the road as well in his amateur and his pro career, and winning.
Yeah, he's, you know, Craig's boxed on about against about 3 or 4 unbeaten fighters, and then we went up to Scotland for his period in it, and that type of stuff, and went down to Liverpool for Fagan, and they were very good wins. And so, you know, actually going on the road, and we're gonna, you know, we need to sort of use this, or hopefully use part of this, you know, to profile them and tell people that the fight's on there, and hopefully we'll get a bit support there for, you know, we've got our family and fans going from here. But, you know, this could project him into be, you know, a household name within the northeast. Within 2 fights, he could be fighting for the British title, and could be, you know, headline some really, really big shows. So, you know, all that support would be greatly received.
Anything else, chaps? Okay, right. Thank you very much for everyone for coming. Obviously, we're here if people want to do separate interviews and ask any questions, take any photos, etc. Thank you very much for your continued support, and look forward to making 2016 fighting chances yet again. Okay, thanks very much.
Thanks.